Hi, everybody. Welcome to our session today, our Yoga for Everybody Skills and Self-Care. My name is Skyla Ramirez. Today, we're going to work on a few gentle back bends and also a few postures and breathing exercises to improve digestion and elimination processes. So let's get started. In about this half-hour session, you can do most of these either seated or standing. I am going to go ahead and start in a seated position, but if you're able to stand up, go ahead and stand up. So from any standing or seated position, let's first begin by lowering the chin. And we're going to go ahead also and allow the hands to rest down into the lap. So you have your hands maybe stacked one or the other down in your lap or down in front of your navel. From here, you're going to take 2 quick inhales and then 2 hard exhales. This is what it looks like. Now, the inhale, you're really pulling the air into your nose. And on the exhale, you want to almost pump or push the belly muscles in to push the breath out on the exhale. It's almost like a type sensation. So we're going to try about 10 of those. This is used to wake you up and to make you more alert and also to strengthen the abdominal. So when you're ready, let's go ahead and start with hands down in front of the heart. Double inhale and double exhale, about 10 of these. When you're ready, big inhale, exhale. Keep going. 2 more. Last one. Now from wherever you are, just let those arms rest down beside you. Spread out your fingertips. On the next inhale, let's gently sweep the arms up and overhead. Big breath in, reaching towards the sky, either seated or standing. We can start to reach out of the armpits, pull up from the hip, separating the ribs and that space around the belly. On an exhale, turn those palms forward and press back. You may even want to look up towards the sky on that exhale. Let's try a few more of these. Circle sweeping the arms. Big inhale. Pause at the top of the breath. Pull up, palms forward. Exhale, pull it back and look up towards the sky. Maybe just 2 more. Inhale, reaching up. Pulling up from the elbows, pull it back, look up. Correcting any posture issues that may be there from staring at a computer screen for too long. Reach up, pull it back from wherever you are. Take just that left hand up. And you could be standing up tall or seated in a chair. You could be seated on the floor, reaching up dynamically with that one arm. Let's lean it over to the side. Now look up towards the ceiling. And maybe keep the chin tucked in just a little bit. This is to get a little bit of flushing out of the lymphatic system. The weather is changing here. This is a common time of year where people experience breathing issues and seasonal allergies. So we just want to make sure everything stays in a healthy circulation, healthy draining. Inhale, reach up. When you're ready, slowly take that arm down beside you. Let's lift the other arm, circling and reaching up overhead. Big breath in, pulling up and out of the rib. Chin is in and turning just ever so gently. So we get a little squeeze of those lymph nodes underneath the jaw, the ear, and the throat region. Trying one more big inhale here. Reach, lift the rib out of the hip. And now exhale, bring it to center. If you're seated, feel free to stay seated. If you're thinking of coming up maybe to all fours or standing, go ahead and take your time. So if you can come to all fours, try all fours position for cat and cow. You can do this from a seated position, or let's go ahead and bring it up into standing for a tall standing cat and cow. For a standing cat and cow, take your feet out wide. You can even take your feet wide in a chair. We're pressing the hips back and putting our hands down on our thighs to brace the spine. On an inhale, we flip our hips back. Pull forward through the ribs and the heart, exaggerating an arch in the spine as we open the throat into cow. On the exhale, we pull the navel in, Tuck the tailbone under, pull the hips forward and drop your head into cat. Inhaling, opening the belly, getting into the lymphatic system in the trunk of the body, and then exhaling, rounding the body. Let's try maybe 2 or 3 more. Inhale through the nose and exhale from the throat. Inhaling and exhaling. Belly in tight, hips curled down and under, head hanging loose. Inhale, coming into a flat back. From a flat back position, you could be seated, standing, or even on the floor. We're going to take our right hand across to the left thigh and just gently twist over. So this could be done also from all fours. If you're on the floor in all fours, you take your right hand over to the left knee or to the left hand, and you just start to gently turn in. So we're encouraging just a little bit of a twisting action to wring out some more of the gut and to encourage a little more lymphatic drainage. Let's come to center. Taking the left hand over towards the right knee or thigh to the right side of the body, gently twisting, allowing that left shoulder to turn in, looking over the right shoulder, gentle twist here. Inhale in place. Exhale with ease. One more easy breath here with that twist. When you're ready, bring it around to center. Let's slowly walk the hands up, coming into standing or staying seated in a chair. If you're in the chair, you may want to scoot to the edge of your chair for the next few postures. Let's take our feet out wide with the toes turned out. This is often known as a plie position. From where you are, extend the arms out overhead, finding a 5-pointed star. Let's inhale, lifting the chin and looking up to the sky. Exhale, drop the chin, bend the knees, and pull the elbows in by your ribs. If you want, go ahead and try pulling those elbows back behind your ribs, pinching the shoulder blades together. Let's look down at our knees, see that the knees bend in the same direction as your second, third, and fourth toes. Inhale, rising up, 5-pointed star, tucking the tailbone under a little, lifting the head. Exhale, bending the knees, flip the hips back, and pull those elbows back tight. Inhale, rising up, option to close the eyes, allowing the body to move based on what we feel is right for us, rather than having to see or mimic any movement, just simply moving with the breath and noticing those subtle sensations and cues from the body that guide us through the range of motion. Let's try a couple more, guided by the breath, guided by the body's subtle cues. You may want to speed up or slow down. Just one more in your own time, following your own unique rhythm. From here, let's take those arms up and overhead. As we exhale, we're sending the hips back a little more. So whether you're seated or standing, your hips go back. We're dropping the chest forward with a flat back. Sweep the arms towards the floor. Then inhale, take them up and all the way overhead, pressing the palms to each other. Exhaling down, flat back, hips back. With a flat back, sweeping those arms towards the floor. Inhale, rising up, bringing the palms up and overhead. Exhaling down, bent knee, hips exaggerate back with a drop. Sweep the arms, and then inhale up. Let's try 2 more, closing the eyes again, being led by the breath, being led by any subtle inspirations from those sensations in your body. Remember, you can move faster or slower. Just one more. Let's all find 5-pointed star expression and just hold it here, pressing into the feet and reach dynamically out from your armpits. You may even want to look up and lean back a little bit. Pull up through your sternum and chest. Big inhale. And now exhale, relax. Let's take it into mountain pose, finding our feet at the width of the pelvis bows. So a little different setup here today. Instead of hips width, bring those feet in a little bit narrow, almost touching. Let's step our left foot back a very short stride. This would be a very casual walking stride. On an inhale, we're sweeping the arms up and overhead. Palms are pressing in. Imagine you're holding on to a 10-pound bowling ball. So there is this sensation of an energy that's pushing down that you want to press up overhead. Pull your shoulders into the armpits. Keep bending the right knee. On an exhale, let's swan dive about halfway down, taking those arms out to the side and then reaching back past the hips. We could stop at a third or a quarter of the way. This is a low back strengthener, strengthening of the low back and spine. While we're here, let's check in. Remember cow pose. Inhale, pull forward, flip the hips back. On an exhale, let's relax the hands onto the thigh. Straighten that right leg and slowly begin to lower the chest, walking the hands down your leg, stopping at any point where we may feel discomfort or stopping when maybe we have a sensation. Maybe there's a sweet spot we're stretching and we just want to hold it there. No matter how low or how deep you go into this stretch, relax the head and the neck. Let's hang our head loose. Shake it yes. Turn it left and right. Let's try at least one exaggerated long exhale from your throat. Big inhale. Breathe like you're fogging a mirror, like a fire-breathing dragon. And now just breathe easy. Hold it here. Move the jaw around. There is an intimate connection between the jaw and the low back. If there's any tightness in the low back or hips, we may be able to release that by relaxing our jaw. When you're ready, let's bend our right knee. Walk the hands up onto that right thigh. With your left leg back and that right knee bent, let's inhale the arms up overhead. Turn your left heel in so that your hips are facing to the side of your yoga mat, for those of you who are standing. Or if you wanted to do this from a chair, it looks a little different. It is doable though. You could have one leg back straight and then bend that right knee, and we're taking the arms out into warrior two pose. So it could be a really wide, long stance in the chair, or you could bend both knees and turn sideways in your chair. From standing, we're keeping a pretty casual stance. And for those of you maybe who want to take it out a little more, you can always walk that left foot back more in your warrior two. Let's turn the right palm up, taking the left hand to the low back. Keep bending that right knee, lunging towards your big toe. Inhale, reach straight up with that right arm, and maybe rotate the palm as if you're trying to screw in a light bulb. So there's this little rotation happening in the hand and the shoulder. We're gonna have one strong screw in with that light bulb, one strong turn, and then pull up towards the sky. Looking up to that right hand is an option. Maybe we look in the direction of the heart, following the heart, or turn and look back just ever so gently to the left shoulder. Imagine you're inhaling only into the upper right lung. As we inhale, we pause at the top of the breath and we pull the armpit open just a little bit more, stretching muscles over the lymph nodes that lie along the ribs, the intestines, and even the sides of the breast and chest region. One more big inhale. Exhale, let's take that right elbow down to your right knee. Take the left arm away from the back, as if you're waving towards me. The palm is open. Let's drop the hand down by your hip and now in front of your belly, and we're gonna circle it around, big circles with that left arm. Exhale down, inhale to open. Noticing the breath, inhale through the nose, maybe let it go from the throat. Inhale, exhale. The more stress or tension that we may have been harboring, the bigger and more exaggerated that exhale would be to get that stress out. Exhale. Last one. Big inhale and exhale. Let's take that left hand and place it on the waist or the hip. Slowly coming up to our warrior two position. We turn the right toe forward. Let's lower our hands into the waist for support. Look down at the feet. Slowly heel toe. Inch those feet in towards each other. Let's find our original foundation. The feet are close. This is a narrow stance for our mountain today. Opening the palms. Let's inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Bend the elbows. Exhale, pull them back. Look up. Two more, just centering the spine before we go into that sequence on the other side. Inhaling up. Exhale, pull the elbows back. Look up. Last one. Next inhale, we're holding those arms up and overhead. Stepping our right foot back this time, very casual stride, bending that left knee. Holding in warrior one pose. As we hold in warrior one pose, taking a moment to feel that we are equally rooted in the soles of the feet, pressing down into the right heel, pressing down into that left foot. Big inhale. Exhale, let's come halfway down at the most. I generally stop it at a third or a quarter of the way to check in with the low back strengthener. Reaching back through the fingertips. Pinkies are past the hips. Palms are facing down. Chest is open, leading over your leg. Heart is leading over that left knee. One more big inhale. Exhale, let's place our hands on that left leg. Having the option to straighten that left leg a little bit. We're flipping the hips back, releasing tension in the low back. Let's check in with any sensations that might come up as we change the position of the body. At any time, if anything feels painful, you want to move away from that and maybe bend that front knee or come up a little bit. On your next exhale, let the breath guide those hands down a little more. Maybe touching the floor or using a prop. Relax the head and the neck. Exaggerate the exhales and move the jaw around to release tension that might be hiding in the low back and hips. Inhale into the nose. Exhale from the throat. One more. Breathing like a fire-breathing dragon, or like you're trying to fog a mirror. When we're ready, let's slowly bring those hands onto the shin or thigh, propping up the spine, walking the hands up onto our hips. Let's inhale, raise the arms up, turning our right heel in so that the hips open to the edge of your yoga mat. Or as we did before, you could always sit in a chair. You could even sit on the edge of your chair and take one leg out and open the arms into a supported warrior two, opening up that front right hip as much as possible. From here, let's turn the left palm up, bringing the right hand to the low back, keeping a healthy bend in that left knee. We reach straight up with the left hand, imagining that you're unscrewing a light bulb. So just take maybe one or two turns to take out that imaginary light bulb. And then eventually you just have that one strong turn where you're able to rotate the shoulder and rotate that palm back. Let's look up towards the hand just for a moment. Very traditional expression of the pose, but Also the most strenuous on the neck. So we could always look in alignment with the heart, or we could even look over the right shoulder. No matter where we are with this, let's focus that breath in through the nose, directly over into your upper left lung. And maybe we exhale from the throat and keep the lips together. One more big breath in. Exhale, let's bend that left elbow, taking our left elbow or hand to that left thigh. Let's reach back with the right hand. Palm is open. Take the hand down in front of your hip and belly. Circle it around. Big inhale, big clockwise circles. Exhale down. Inhale to open. Exhaling from the throat. Notice if it feels better on that exhale to keep your lips together and maybe retain some of that energy. Or if your body prefers to let it go altogether, notice if that feels better. Big sigh of relief. One more big circle with this. When we're ready, let's take our time coming up to warrior two. Arms are open, looking past the left fingertips. Let's take our time to turn our left toe forward, bending our knees. We're inching our feet in towards each other. And we're coming in either to mountain or into a basic seated position. Let's move into a little bit of a balanced challenge. From here, simply close your eyes. Let your weight shift over into just your right foot. Peel up just the left heel, keeping the weight on the ball of your left foot. Tune into any sort of gentle sway, any circling, any energy that might be pulling you. Just go ahead and move into that energy and feel when your body tries to counterbalance that. As an added challenge, we can always attempt to lift one leg off the ground or lift that toe off the ground while the eyes are closed. Again, this can be done from seated in a chair. And even when we're seated, as we close our eyes and lift one leg off the floor, notice that the body is energetically pulled in a direction to counterbalance. When you're ready, open your eyes. Let's take our time to set both feet down on the floor, feeling that we are completely supported, all weight bearing down into the earth. Let your attention shift into the left foot, peeling up just the right heel, maybe just a little bit at first, and pressing firmly into the ball of the right foot. There are nerves in the ball of the foot that directly communicate to your SI joint, to your lumbar spine, to your hips. It's directly connected to the sciatic nerve. So we're actually just working on maybe waking up some muscles to keep our hips stable, keep our pelvis and our low back strong and protected. Option to close the eyes, chin down. Maybe we hover that right toe off of the floor. If you're seated, you're still going to feel this. You're probably going to feel it deep in that right hip. If you're standing, you might feel it in the hip. You might feel more the effects of a pull as the body is attempting to counterbalance the muscles in that lifted leg. Just keep breathing through it. Chin is down, gaze is soft. Inhale through the nose. Exhale from the throat. Just one or two more easy breaths. When it's right for your body, both feet come down to the floor, giving our bodies that sensation of being fully supported. Let's relax our hands. If you're standing, you're welcome to come down to seated or even to lying down on the floor, come to a chair. Let's get comfortable for the last few minutes as we just do a little bit of hip work and grounding work for our bodies. From seated or lying on the floor, let those knees sway a little bit. You might want to lift your heels as they sway. You can even lean back in your chair if that feels better for your body. Let the knees sway over to one side and then bring both arms over in the opposite direction. Just a gentle twist. Notice, where is the breath going? Where is that path of least resistance? When you're ready, let's switch sides, letting our knees sway over to the other side, both hands in the opposite direction, gentle twist. Noticing, where is the breath going? Does the breath go? Especially in cases where maybe we have felt that we've had a little bit of breath restriction. Just notice, where is that breath going? Let's bring the knees to center, bring the arms to center. If you're lying on the floor, go ahead and let your arms maybe rest beside you or on your belly. You can always straighten your legs out. For those of us joining us from your office today and you're in a chair, go ahead and sit back and relax in your chair. Let's all lower our chin and rest the hands in a comfortable place. Focus on your breath, breathing in through the nose. We fill the belly first, and then we allow the breath to move through your ribs. And finally, up to the center of the chest. We're actually stopping the breath just below the collarbones today. As we exhale, we soften the middle of the chest, soften the ribs, soften your belly and low back. Now just notice the mechanics of the breath at first, rather than judging the breath, letting go of any judgment as to whether or not you're getting a full enough inhale or a quality breath. Just tuning into the mechanics of this. As we inhale, we breathe down into the belly, and the stomach is going to rise, or it's going to open up in that abdominal space. And then you breathe through your ribs and up to the center of the chest, stopping that energy just at the collarbones. We pause there. When you're ready, exhale from your throat, relax the center of the chest, soften your side ribs, then soften your belly and low back. We're going to add in a gentle contraction to this. Inhale, belly, ribs, center chest. Pause there and contract the muscles in your pelvis, the same muscles that are used to stop urination. Contract those muscles, pull up in the pelvic floor. Keep that contraction. Exhale, relax your heart, relax the ribs, relax the belly, relax the pelvis. Inhaling, belly, ribs, heart. Pause, contract the pelvis, keep that contraction. While we're keeping that contraction, exhale, relax the heart, relax the ribs, relax the belly, relax the pelvis. Inhaling, belly, ribs, heart, pelvis contraction. Exhale, heart, ribs, belly, and pelvis. Maybe just a couple more like this. Inhaling, belly, ribs, heart. Pause, contract the pelvis. Exhaling, heart, ribs, belly, and pelvis. Last one. Inhaling, belly, ribs, heart. Pause, contract the pelvis. Exhaling, heart, ribs, belly, and pelvis. Now just breathe easy. That was a little exercise to help to balance out whether it is a weak pelvic floor or a hypertonic and a tight pelvic floor. We're working on balancing out that intimate connection between breathing muscles, breath rhythm, and the way that the pelvis muscles function in our bodies. From wherever you are, continue to breathe easy. We can bring our hands together at the heart. It's a traditional closing gesture in yoga. Or you could bring the hands over the chest. Let's all draw in a deep, unifying breath together on this beautiful day. Let it go with a sigh. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Namaste, everybody.